Hello everybody, my name is Cool Blue and I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game. Today I'll be playing Final Girl. I'm going to be doing number 4 on the Final Girl playthrough. By that I mean I'm playing through the lore and scenario for Hans. This is going to be number 4, continuation of last video. Before we get moving on this one though, I do want to do some bookkeeping from the previous episode. Aside from, the normal post-game ranting and stuff, I am adding the +1 marker to this side, since we spent a lot of our time staring here, because there was a situation to where it might have benefited me a little bit to do a +1 die roll when I was on low health. Not that I was on low health, not to spoil it for anybody else, but that goes a long way to say that when I get to 1, I'll just do it like that, so that way, yeah, I don't know if I'll just, like, maybe I can, like, glue that on there so I can stay like that, I don't know. At any rate, that is something I'm gonna add to the board so I can remember I get +1 die roll. It's a little circumstantial because there was some other things that kicked in that made that not as relevant probably, but then again maybe it did. Maybe it did. I don't know. Statistics change. Statistics change. At any rate, with my feeble attempt to not try to spoil anything, we have here set up for us the Carnival Blood. This is going to be Traps and Killers and Clowns Oh My. And we're playing against Hans over there. We have returning, of course, the famous Pointer. The Pointer, which is the most famous pointer in the world. That's not true. There's more pointers that are more famous. And then we also have the Dice Box. Palm Island Dice Box. Shout out to Palm Island. Great game. But right here is a Dice Box. Good game by itself, but it's also a really good Dice Box. And then we also have the Gruesome Deaths book, which I have stored away here. Stowed away. There we go. Cool. Well done. Well done. Cool. Everything's set. Everything's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the reading. Oh, yeah, right. So we have everything set up here. Like I said, I moved the token over here just so I can remember, because we spend all of our time searching here. Much the same with the items. I'll store items over here. It's the best of my ability. We have the Queens of Horror deck. We have the Tenacity counters. We have the Girlfriend, who's starting in this one based on the scenario. The Girlfriend will start there. These Tenacity counters plus the Queens of Horror mod, those are mods that I've added to the game myself. Go check out the first video in this series if you want to, or second video in the series if you want to figure out more about what I'm talking about on those, if you're watching this on YouTube later on. But for now, just know that they're custom mods that I play the game with because it makes it more enjoyable for me. So, cool. Let's go ahead and get started. We got everything set. Traps, statistics, and of course, dice. And let's do the reading for this scenario for Traps and Killers and Clowns. Oh my! Laurie knew she should know better than to go along with another one of Lucy's outings. But when she looked at her, those big doughy eyes, and said, "Don't you want to come to the circus with me?" All Laurie could think to herself was, "I'd love to." They saw the animals, they laughed at the clowns, they bought popcorn, Lucy smiled and beamed, and it was wonderful. But Laurie couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about this place. A sixth sense she had come to trust. "We need to go, Lucy," she said, pulling her to the exit. But when they got there, it had been sealed off, and a dead clown was staked to the entrance. "Oh God, not again," Lucy screamed. For her part, Laurie wasn't at all surprised. "Damn it, Lucy, what have you got us into this time? Or what have you gotten us into this time?" "Come on," she said out loud. "Let's kill him again." Cool. So that's kind of a spoiler alert for the previous playthrough, I guess. But, alright, just go and spoil the movies, why don't you? So yeah, so I'm Laurie over here. And, oh, I'm not on this side. I'm on the other side. Double spoiler alert. And, yeah. So we are going to try and do this Carnival of Blood thing. I am very cognizant that there are traps everywhere. So Carnival of Blood's kind of thing, kind of quirk, if you will, mechanic, let's call it a mechanic, is that there are trap cards everywhere, and there are trap tokens that can drop, and the trap tokens all the trap tokens spawn where I am, and they kill everybody in my space. So I don't necessarily want to hang out with Lucy for too long. I got my starting cards. And I think for this very first turn, if I can escape 3 people, I will. I also want to not be in the same space as Lucy, so probably what I'll do is I'll roll and then walk up here. So I'm going to try to walk. So I'll walk up here and rescue these people. And then I'll try to walk again to get to here. and then hopefully try to rescue them as well and leave Lucy behind because I don't want to die in the same spot with Lucy because that increases the horror by 5, which is awful. So, knowing that particular strategy, I'm going to walk, or try to. Of course, we're going to do our traditional using the Queen of Horror deck for our first few draws and see if it can actually come to be useful for us. It says 2, and there's 3. This 1, 2, oh, sorry, I gotta cut first. And then I'll cut the deck. And I'll do 1, 2, 3. There we go. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do my first roll for walk. I get to roll 3 dice because I'm in the same spot as Lucy. So that's card 1, card 2, card 3. Wow! I shuffled. You saw me shuffle. We saw me shuffle. We saw me shuffle, right? So that's not only a fail, that's a complete fail. Oof, that's the worst kind of fail. So I will lose 1 health. Man, this is... Oh, I get 3 tenacity from that, though. Oh, these are tenacity counters. This is 1, this is 2. So I guess that's some consolation. But geez, as a first roll, oof. At least those are out of the way, but I did shuffle. We saw me shuffle. I shuffled. I'm just saying, I shuffled. I'm just a little baffled that that happened. And I cut as well. Man, this is the worst. So I lost 1 health. I'm losing 2 time. So from 6 to 4. And then I get to move 1 space. And I'm taking Lucy with me because that was some nonsense. I apparently need all the dice I can get. On the bright side, I got 5 cards left in my hand. So I'm going to walk again. I'm going to flip 3 cards because they better be good by now. That's partial. That's a fail. That's a success. So Black Queen is a 6, Red Queen's a 5. So that's a partial and a full and an ace. So I'll take the ace for tenacity, which is a 1. And then I'll discard a short rest and a weak attack to make that partial success a full success. So I got 2 movement. So I will do 1 like so, rescue this person, and move 1 space. And then also, oh, sorry, let me do this in right order. Rescue this person and get 2 time back. So from 4 to 6. Or actually, am I close to a search? I'm not close to a search. Yeah, I'll rescue that person, get 2 time back. And then I'll rescue this person, which moves me 1 space. And then my second movement, 2, I'll move down here. Where's the nearest exit? This is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can run them that way. I kind of want to... Oh, sorry. The first event that comes out is going to be mirrors everywhere. If you attack and there are 1 or more victims in your space, a victim dies for every 1 that you roll. That's the first event card that comes out. So off to a pretty non-eventful start. That's pretty fine. I'm okay with this, especially compared to some of the other previous playthroughs. So now that we're done with that, I'm gonna commit to that being it for my turn. And I mean, I got 4 tenacity total, so that's great. I lost a health, but man, was that a rough way to start this game. Whew. So with my remaining time, which is 6, actually, hold on. I did a walk. Have I done 2 walks or 1 walk? Yeah, I did a walk. I lost 2 time, and then I did another walk. So I should have lost 4 time total. So I should have lost 2 for failing this walk. Actually, no, 3 time. Because when you succeed in a walk, you still lose a time. So that means I should be at 5. Okay. All right, let's make sure I'm at the right values here. All right. So I'm at 5 time, and with my 5 time, with my 2 remaining cards, I shall purchase I can do a sprint and a search, maybe? Nah, I want to rescue people, because if I can just get 4 more people out, then I can get my power, and I don't have to worry about staying in space with them. Also, this is actually kind of risky, I just thought about it, because, yeah, this is very risky, because I'm in a situation where if a trap spawns on me, those people die anyway, which would be pretty sad, but at least it's not Lucy. If Lucy dies, if Lucy dies while I'm looking, that's bad. If Lucy dies while I'm not looking, R.I.P. R.I.P. bro. R.I.P. I don't want to be here anyway. So I'm going to spend 2 time on 2 close calls, just $1 a piece. So they're 1, 1. So it's 2. So I have 3 left. And then I will get a... Nah, you know what? I'm gonna get... I'm gonna get 2 sprints and a close call. My goal right now is to get everybody out. Or as many people out as I can. That's my goal. So 2 sprints is $4, a close call is $1, and then I had these 2 from before. That's it. So these cards are now liberated. All right, and there we go. So now we're on to the killer's turn. The killer will first swing at whoever's in Han's space, which is nobody. And then next we do the first terror card, and it's going to be, of course, I kind of called that. Let's be fair, I called it. The acid trap spawns right on top of me, of course it does. Everybody on the spot dies, of course they do. And then I take 1 damage, of course I do. Right, this is why this Carnival Blood is just such an awful place. Oh, and the bloodlust goes up by 2 because of course it does. 1, 2. And so does the horror level from 4 to 5. Well, that's disappointing. So now I need the path. Oh, and we increased the horror by 2? Oh man, we're already in 7? Ugh. That's even worse. Bro. Game, can I play, please? Oh, and I lose a health because the acid will deal 1 damage to me. Yeah, so you lose 1 health. Well, there's probably the single worst mechanic in this game, which is the traps. So I guess, sorry, in this particular location, let me say that. So I guess there's that. So now that my plan has changed, I got 2 sprints, so I can do, this is 3, 4, 5. I need 4 people, so I can carry 2. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh. There is no good path. This path is now split in half. For all I know, there's probably another trap in there. Alright, I got 1 card, or 1 die to roll, so I need to focus. I'm going to use the focus right now, so I can hopefully get this to be less bad on the terror level. 33% chance I get what I want. I didn't get what I want. 89% chance I get that, so. The question is, do I discard 2 cards? No, I play a close call. Alright, well, looks like I get nothing. That's actually going to lose me 2 time. So that's going to be from 6 to 4. Thanks, game. Then I'm going to focus again. Wow. I'm just getting all the bad rolls. That's going to be another one for the tenacity, and I go from 4 to 2. I don't even want to bother trying to move. It's not even worth it moving, so I'm just going to end my turn. I get all these zeros back. And thankfully the acid trap doesn't continue aciding me, because if it did, that'd be infuriating. But that is where we're at on that. And see, I should have flipped the cards. I don't know, I'm rolling dice. I got cards over here. So I got 2 time to spend, and I got some movement stuff here. I have no way to reduce the horror level right now. So I'm going to be stuck rolling 1 die unless I move back to where Lucy is, which is the white pawn there. So I'm in a situation that is, I just want to clarify. This is, you know, when I go on my long talks about the mechanics towards the end of all these videos so far, that's not because I'm just, you know, feeling salty about a certain thing or feeling upset about a particular thing or just complaining about a mechanic. This is what I mean. This is like a perfect honed in example. No matter what I do, there's an unfortunate circumstance that happens. And some people like to say that, oh, that just happens. That's just a part of the game. It's like, okay. A part of the game, a thing that's a part of the game is like, you know, oh, that, you know, the acid trap spawned. But the fact that the acid trap spawned and the horror level went down low enough to make it towards bad, that's awful. Arguments can be made that before I moved with Lucy, that I should have focused first. And it's like, yeah, you can make that argument, but what are the chances that's going to go up 3 in the first turn? The chances apparently are pretty high. So that's why we end up here. Struggling. But I got 2 time. What do we do is 2 time? Did I buy a sprint? Nope, I already had the sprints. Oh, you know, I could discard. I don't want to. I could have discarded one of these sprints to get a third time, but I don't want to. With my 2-time, I will buy a close call. So waste 1 time. And these go back over there. Alright, let's see what nonsense we got now. Han's gonna swing at his spot, nobody's there. And, oh, okay, cool. So for every victim that is dead, Hans recovers 1 health. Hans at max health, so nothing bad happens. But we're gonna increase the horror level by 1, which is gonna increase the bloodlust by 1. Which Hans is still at 12, 2, and 1 right now. Yeah, this is it's going well. Let's see if I can turn this around. So knowing that I have not as many moves, or sorry, not as much to move around, I can try to walk. It's only gonna let me move 1 space though. If I try to sprint, I can move up to 2 spaces, which means I might be able to do something, but I don't know, y'all. This is getting it's getting out of hand. If I can escape a victim, then that'll allow me to reduce the horror level by 1. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. If I get at least 1 success on 2 sprints back to back, then I should be able to escape a victim. But I don't think I'll be able to do this without spending a lot of resources, because I'm rolling 1 die total. And yeah, I don't like my chances. Welp, on the bright side, so I fail that sprint, which allows, or which means I'll lose, so I'll go from 6, reset back to 6. I'll lose 2 time, and then I will, oh, it's going to end my turn. I lose 1 health. I get a tenacity, so I get a star now, but my turn is over. Alright, I guess I'm not doing that. Man, this is... I'll play the close call. And I will re-roll that 1 die. Somehow worse. Somehow worse. So this is 3. Alright, cool. So all that happens anyway. So let me see. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. So should I be down to 3 health? Okay, so I started with 5. And the acid trap pulled me down to 4. And then the sprint that I just failed... No, I failed a walk. That pulled me down to 4. And the acid trap pulled me down to 3. And then this failed walk is... Or this failed sprint is pulling me down to 1. Alright, to 2. Yeah, okay. So make sure my math is right. And yeah, so that's going to be it for my turn, though. I get to move 1 space, so I'll go hang out with... Yeah, part of me wants to go hang out with the people, but I feel like it's going to spawn another trap. But if it does, that's Vegas, baby. That's Vegas, baby. I'm going to move over here to these folks and just hang out with them. And my turn is over because of that. I did lose 2 time, though. Right, and I get these 2 focuses back, finally. And I'm at 4 time. So I got a focus that can handle the horror level finally, or try to manage that a little bit. I'm more concerned that Hans is going to come into my spot. Actually, if Hans comes into my spot, he's going to attack them, unless he has the card where it says Hans wants me, he's always wanted me. Which means that he'll be able to kill me, so that means I don't need to play a guard. So I'm going to do a guard for 2, and then I'm going to do a guard. I don't want to. Well, there's not really many 2s left for me to purchase. I got the sprint in my hand. There's a search. There's a close call on another guard. I'd rather take the close call. All right. So this is my hand of cards. Let's see if Hans does anything finally. So Hans in the big top, having fun in there. He's going to swing at nobody because that's what Hans's card says. He's going to swing at the nearest persons, which is nobody. And then we're going to flip over the next card. And he just keeps coming as a card that comes up. Raise the horror level by 1, which is awful because it's going to raise the horror level again. Sorry, it's at 7, so it's going to increase the bloodlust by 1. So it's going to get us to here. And then Hans is going to increase the horror level by 1 based on his level, which is going to increase his bloodlust by 1, which goes to here. So now we get Hans's dark power, which his dark power is Dark Obsession. Whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks you again. Cool. And now Hans is going to move his movement speed, which is now enough to make it to us. Wasn't before, but now it is. 1, 2. Because, so in the event of a tie, Hans will always go to, or the killer will always go to the place with the most victims. I do not count as a victim, but there's 3 victims here, so Hans is going to go here. Right there. And Hans is going to swing at one person, take him out, which is going to increase his bloodlust. He's still at 3 and 2, so yeah. That's a cool game you got there. It'd be a shame if somebody died. Alright, cool. So now it's going to play the focus. And let us roll our single die, because we are on... where we're at. We're on the red on Bloodlust 7, or sorry, Horror Track 7. Finally, I get to reduce it by 1, so I lose a time. Of course I do. So from 6 to 5, and then this goes from 7 to 6, and this goes to yellow, so I now get 2 dice. And he conveniently whittled it down so I can escape with these people, which is cool, I guess. That's some kind of reprieve. But knowing, or having what I have, I think I need to sprint. If I can get the sprint to go successfully, because I have 1 close call in my hand, maybe we can get this to be something good. So we're going to roll the dice, which have been betraying me this whole time, but I'm going to roll them anyway. Don't want any excuses. Alright, so we got a 5 and a 3. Alternatively, I could have flipped a card instead with the Queen of Horror mod, but I did not use that. I decided not to use that. I'm going to get rid of the weak attack, and yep, weak attack and short rest is going to go. I feel like that's a bad idea, but we're going to do it. To make that 2 successes, so I lose 1 time, and I lose 1 time, and I get to move 3 spaces. So from 5 to 4, I get to move 3 spaces. So this is 1, 2, and 3. Then from here, I will escape 3 people. Number 1 to get a heal. Number 2 to get 2 time. Number 3 to take an action card of 2 or less, which in this case for me will be the... should I take a search? I don't know. I feel like taking a search might be a worthy idea. The bullwhip will be nice, but I'd rather just try to escape the last person. So I can take a search, a sprint, or a close call. I feel like given the circumstances, a sprint might be good since I have 1 close call in hand. So I'll do that. And then, now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and try to sprint again to hopefully get the 3 so I can get close enough to walk into the spot. So it's 1 success, 1 partial. I will... It's going to give me 2, 1, 2, and I just need to move 2 back that way. I'll keep it as it is. I'm not going to make that 2 full successes. So 1, 2, and then I'll try to walk this person home. 2 dice, 1 roll, a partial and a fail, which I will accept. I can't accept that. Yeah, I'll accept that as a fail, which is unfortunate, but that means I really need a short rest or a long rest. But I'll accept that as a fail, and I will lose 1 health, which I don't understand the logic behind that, but sure. Lose 2 time, and then I get to move 1 space. And then I'll walk again, or try to. Oh, sorry, I get the tenacity as well. Sorry, we are here. And I would not have spent the tenacity for that, but it looks like I probably should have. Given that I don't really need to accept what this is, I'm going to play a close call, spend 2 time to reroll both die. Man, nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I will let this be a fail, and I will lose 2 time, so I'm down to 0, which I'll just reset back to 6, so I have no time to spend during my planning phase, but my turn's not over. I lose 1 health, so I'm down to 1, so I'll put this here to remind myself. I got that. And I'll walk here, And alright, so now we're in a situation to where if a trap spawns on me that does damage, which there's only one other one, which is the blades, I will just die. And that might be the shortest game. I don't know. We'll see. I got a guard and focus though. I can handle Hans showing up. I have no time to spend, so that's it for my planning phase. No cards come back to my hand. I got nothing but a guard and a focus. All these cards are liberated, which is great, but you know, I'm happy for you that those cards are liberated, but not doing much for me right now. I do get my power, which is something. Oh, I didn't reduce the horror level. Sorry, my bad. Because I rescued that person. So there's that. And that's it. So Hans swings at nobody. We reveal the next card, and it is He Just Came Out of Nowhere. Place Hans with the furthest target possible. Draw the next tarot card. Increase the horror level by 1. Okay, so we're at 5 to 6. And then put him with the furthest one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a tie. So when there's a tie in the game tells you that you will choose one of 3 options. Option number 1, what is the most thematic? Option number 2, what is the worst for you? Option number 3, what's the funniest? I like option number 4, which is roll some dice. So for the pathing, Hans will either go high or low. So I'll make this high, make this low. As in, this is a 4 through 6, and this is 3 through 1, or 1 through 3. Oh, actually, I lied. Sorry. No, Hans is gonna go. If there's a event of a tie, Hans will go to the where most victims are. So yeah, he's gonna go down here anyway. Which I think that's what it rolled, but sure. So he's gonna go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So he's gonna go there. And draw next tarot card. Next tarot card. He just keeps coming. Of course, we increased the horror level by 1. So we're down to 7 again. Back in the red. Thanks, game. And he's going to slash at somebody. And that's going to increase the horror level by 1 again, which is going to increase the bloodlust, which he's now hitting for 4. This game really wants me to hurry up and end the recording, huh? Tell me you hate me without telling me you hate me, game. So that's it for my turn. I am back. That's it for the killer's phase. So I'm back to my turn. Is it even worth me doing anything? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His bloodlust is at 8, by the way, just in case those want to know. I don't think it's worth me doing anything right now. I'm just gonna do nothing. I mean, I only got a guard and a focus, so I'll do nothing in my turn. Get all my cards back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a star to spend in the future, which is cool, but not gonna do me no good right now. I got 6 time to spend. I'm gonna go ahead and take a long rest for 5 and a close call. So it's all 6 of my time. End of my turn. Hans is gonna swing at somebody and take out that person, which goes up here, which increases the horror track, which increases the bloodlust. So we're at maxed. So 5 and 3. So Hans is now at Hans's strongest. And then tarot card says, I'm all wrapped up and I can't get free. Place the rope trap token in your space. Immediately apply the trap's effects. See the tarot card reference for your thing. If a walk or a sprint card was discarded, increase the horror by 2. Which, for Hans, increasing the horror by 2 doesn't do anything but just heal him. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to change anything. So I'm going to discard... Is this 2? Or 1? Wait, I got to read this again. Oh, I gotta read the card. I think the card says 1. Yeah, 1. Discard 1 action card at random. Okay. Alright, so the random action card, this is me shuffling. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. And we're gonna get rid of a focus. Okay, cool. I'm okay with that. I'm not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. At least I got the victims out. That's cool. So I'm going to long rest. Oh, nope. I gotta focus first. I'm going to focus. Alright, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to spin the star instead. I know that I rolled and I revealed new information. I can't undo it, but I had a star and I should have spent the star because I got 1 roll. I can't roll more than a single success anyway. So I'm going to spin that star and we're going to reduce the horror by 1. and reduces time by 1. But also, just to clarify, 33% chance that'll happen. All right, now we're back into a situation that things can happen. So I'm gonna do a long rest because I need as much health as I can get. Actually, my only path to get back to Lucy, unless I want to go through the acid trap, is this way, or this long tail path. The item that I want is in the House of Mirrors, which is here. So I could try to get the Bullwhip, which is nice because it gives me 1 extra damage to fight Hans. So that means that I need to have enough to purchase a search. So let me do the long rest first, because it's more important right now. Wow, really, dice? Okay, maybe I need to stop rolling dice. I will... I think I gotta spend 2 ton to reroll that. Spending 2 ton to reroll that from 5 to 3, and I'm gonna flip 2 cards. I will let the cards dictate because the dice have been not dicing all day long. So card 1, shuffle indicator, doesn't count. Partial, and that's a red queen is a 5. So a partial success and a 5. Do I want to make that partial success a full success? I kind of don't want to make it a full success. I mean, I do, because that's going to heal me the most. That's going to get me back to max health. And I just lose 1 time. This sucks. This sucks. Alright. I think it's worth me doing that. I'm going to not have mobility, though, and I want to move at least 1 space. So I'm going to drop the weak attack, and I'm going to drop the short rest, heal up 4, and lose 1 time. So I'm from... Oh, you know what? I haven't been... I got this whole thing here sitting in front of me, and I haven't been rolling my bonus die. One of these days, I'll remember that when I'm on 1 health, I get +1 die. So I should have been rolling more dice this whole time. Also, is the horror level on 6? No, it's back on 7, right? What's going on? Hold on. What's going on? Yes, the horror level is back on 6, so we're back in yellow. Because I played a focus, and I had to discard... Nope. Oh, no. This was discarded because of the rope trap. This was played during my turn, and I cashed in the star to make that go to 6. So yeah, it's just that this was not updated. This was correct, this wasn't updated. And the long rest was a 5 and a 3, so I discarded 2 cards to make that 3. That partial success, a full success. So that means that my long rest was successful. I lose 1 time. So I go from 3 to 2, if I can find it. There it is. And then I heal 4 health. Also, hold on. Because it does matter, before I discard those 2 cards, I should have played 3. Okay. It does matter in the sense that it might make 2 successes where I don't have to discard anything, but yeah, I have to discard stuff. So, there we go. So I'm doing that. I get to heal 4, so I'm max health now. And... we will try our hardest to walk 1 space without dying. I'm gonna roll 2 dice. I don't know why I'm rolling dice, but I'm doing it. Alright, well we got a tenacity counter, that's worth it. And we got a success. Best case scenario, I guess. I'm gonna walk into the House of Mirrors, which is where I want to go. Oh, I lose a time. That's fine. Because I'm gonna discard this walk to get a time. Alright, now that I'm done with that, we're going to get all our cards, which is nothing. I'm going to get a card. I'm going to buy my search. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to do anything else. These cards are now liberated. A bunch of cards played. At least I healed. At least I healed. And now Han's going to swing at nobody. And now we're going to do next card, which is... why? Are all the trap cards on the top? Jeez. I shuffled, I promise. Place a spinning floor blade trap token in your space. Immediately apply the trap's effects. For each 1 through 4 that you roll, increase the horror by 1. So the spinning traps, roll 2 dice. For each of the result, do the following. 1 through 4, you take that much damage. 5 through 6, you move. You may move 1 space. I do not want to move 1 space. So I'm gonna roll dice since the dice haven't been doing stuff. So I take 1 damage, and I can move 1 space if I want. I'm not gonna. And then the other thing that this says is for each 1 through 4 you rolled, increase the horror by 1. So we're back in the red, which sucks a lot. That's no bueno. Oh, we need the spinning blade token. I present to you the things I hate about Carnival of Blood. Like, I understand they're tarot cards, but like, no, these are not. These are dumb. Oh, wait, was that take a hit? Oh, so because it says take a damage, I could discard a guard to block that damage. But actually, yeah, I don't care if I'm, well, yeah, I don't care if I'm max health because Han's gonna kill me in 1 hit anyway. Yeah, so I'll be at 4. All right, so I am going to, let's see. I guess I'm going to do nothing on my turn. Yeah, I'm going to do nothing on my turn. I'm going to end my turn, and I'm going to get all these cards back for zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at 8 cards in my hand. And with my 6th time, because I've done nothing yet, with my 6th time, hanging out the blade traps. Meanwhile, Lucy's just in the corner, none the wiser, hanging out in the Ferris wheel, watching it all happen. I'm just like being burned and rope trapped up and murdered. It's like, so let's see, what am I gonna do about this? I'm thinking it's a good idea to go ahead and get some of the attacks, but also, so, okay, I'm gonna do distraction and improvise for now. And the idea is that I'll be able to try to focus first to get the horror level down to yellow so I can roll 2 dice, and then do improvise and hopefully get the entire turn to be good. Alternatively, I can try to get a close call. Do I have one in my hand? I should have one in my hand. Am I missing one? Wait. Oh, sorry, it's way over here. Yeah, there's a, so I could, yeah, I'm not going to take distraction. I'm instead going to get a close call. That should be me at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. So I have 2 time left over then, because that's improvise plus close call. And I guess I'll spend 2 time to reshuffle. So can't do anything else with it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to spend 2 time to reshuffle. This deck looks amazing. I'm going to keep it like it is. Screw that. Alright. So we're at max hand size. My next turn has to be great or else. So that's it. Han's going to swing at nobody. Next terror card is going to be He Wants Fresh Blood. He's going to move to the next victim, kill them. And then Hans is at max, so Hans recovers health and then discard the next terror card. Cool. So we have 1 tarot card left. Alright. So now it's on me. So I will try to do my diabolical turn of focusing. And I will roll a die. Because I think the Queens of Horror deck is doing good things right now. So that's a partial success. So, yeah. Partial success. And with that partial success, I will, because I don't really want to go anywhere right now, I'm just going to discard the walks. 2 walks. And yeah, I'm just going to discard the 2 walks. Because Hans is going to come to me anyway, so I don't need to go anywhere. Come to me, Hans. And that's going to make that a single success, which allows me to reduce the horror by 1. I lose the time though. And we're back in the yellow. And now I need to have improvise go. Come on, I'm flip 2 cards. I got 1 close call and flip 2 cards. That's a 1. That's a partial. I will discard this and spend 2 time. And let's see, what are my chances on the deck? Let's see. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad cards down here. I don't know, it's still possible. There's a lot of queens in there though. Like there's 3 cards randomly taken out before I look at, or before I start using the Queens of Horror deck. It's possible that 3 queens are taken out, especially considering how stacked up the 2s were. Like they all came out back to back to back, and I don't like that at all. But given the fact that there's a lot of potential for queens in there, also if I get one more joker, I'll reshuffle. So, all right, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do our reroll from the cards, and we're flipping 2 to try to get improvise, which we really need. So that's 1 success, and that's a fail. Okay. All right, so our next roll, I can't do anything about that. Our next roll is going to be a 3s and 4s are successes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do search. That's the important roll for me. I will roll dice. So 3s and 4s are successes. There's basically a 89% chance that there's an 89% chance that I get what I want from the dice. See right here, the star is a full success, the moon is a partial success. So both of those are full successes right now. So 89% chance that I get at least one of what I want. And I got 1 success, I got 2 successes. So at this time it says, for 2 successes, it says take the top 2 item cards at your space. So it says take. I didn't say I can choose not to. I'd rather just take the first one because I really want just the top one. But there it said take the top 2 item cards of your, take the top 2 item cards at your space and choose one. Place the other on top, face up, or underneath, face down. So the reason why I only want to take the top one and not have the second one, actually, you know, in hindsight, I probably should not have used improvise first. Probably should have held on to that, shouldn't I? Shame. Yeah, it's too late. Because I really only want the top item. So I probably should have used the odds and let the odds be in my favor. That was going to be a 56% chance I get what I want instead of an 89. Like 89 is better, yes, but I did not want 2 successes. So the fact that I played improvise was the mistake. Because if I draw a trap, which I probably will, it's going to be bad. So I got bullwhip and, of course, knockout gas. You fall asleep immediately, end your action phase. Set the time marker to 0. Recover 1 health for a good rest. Okay. Thanks, game. Thanks for your patronage. I will take the bull. Wait, do I still get to take an item? Oh man, hold on. If I don't get to take an item because of the knockout gas, I'm gonna be upset. Where is? Let me see. Let me check the rulebook. Let me check the rulebook. That's Geppetto. That's not what I'm looking for. We want Carnival of Blood. All right, there we go. So Carnival of Blood, let's see. There it is, Terror Traps. Oh, I can barely read that. Terror Traps. There are 3 Terror Traps in the Carnival of Blood Terror deck. They may be revealed during the killer phase. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Item Traps. Item Traps. There are 3 item traps randomly hidden in the decks during setup. They will only be discovered by searching the deck. Each item deck will have a single trap, but you won't know where in the deck is located. After successfully searching, you may draw an item trap. After successfully searching, if you draw an item trap, you must resolve it. Otherwise, unless otherwise noted. If your search revealed an item in addition to an item trap, you may still take the item, but you must resolve the trap first. Okay, that wording is weird. So it says if your search revealed an item in addition to an item trap, you may still take the item, but must resolve the trap first. Item trap cards are discarded after they are resolved unless otherwise noted. So I'm gonna just interpret as I get to keep the item, and then the knockout gas goes away. But the reason why I said that's weird wording is because if you read the knockout gas, it says you fall asleep immediately, end the action phase, and set the time marker to 0. Recover a health for a good rest. I guess technically it doesn't say that you cannot acquire items, or if there was a rule that said you can only acquire items in your action phase, then that would be conflicting wording. But I'm just gonna take that at face value. Even if it didn't say that, just to clarify, I was gonna do it anyway because I feel like that would be even more broken than what it should be. It's like, hey, so why can't I keep the thing that I saw first? Because I wanted the thing I saw first. It's like, what is this? What is this nonsense? Anywho, I got the bullwhip. I fall asleep. I get healed. I have 0 time to spend. I got a guard. Hans is going to activate. Han's gonna swing at his space as he does. Hit nobody. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip over his tarot card, and it says Unholy Speed. Great. Hans moves faster. Of course he does. And he has 2 extra health. Alright. Also, there's a victim left on the board. I forgot Lucy was here. Lucy's been chilling the whole time. Like, she has not been bothered. And now Hans is going to go after the nearest final girl or victim. So I could probably use that to my advantage. The fact that Lucy's over there, there's no more traps. All the traps are revealed. And now it's my turn with 6 time. Can I move far enough away from Hans, who is moving at... Oh, sorry, he's moving at 3. I did that wrong. My bad. He's moving at 3, and he's hitting for 5. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Man. There's literally nowhere I can move with my Oh, I have no moves anyway. Right, I got rid of them because I said I don't need those. Who needs those? So next turn, Hans is not going to actually do anything except for reveal the finale. Actually, hold on, let me check out the wording on that. Because I think when you go to draw a tarot card, that's when it's revealed. Or is it when it's blank? Give me a second. Let's see. So here I am in the rule book. Alright, tarot cards can do a variety of things. Some will target blah, blah, blah. What? I feel like it's in here somewhere. No. Oh yeah, these cards should have cleared out from before. Cool. Upkeep phase. Oh, here's the upkeep phase. Revealing the finale. If there are no tarot cards left in the tarot deck, the finale will be revealed during the upkeep phase? Ugh. Okay, fine. Alright, so it should have been revealed at the end of the upkeep phase. Draw a second Dark Power card when this is revealed, and then Hans will boot twice and swing. Okay, cool. Additional Dark Power, I don't think it matters, but we'll get it anyway. Now, I do want to go ahead and comment on this while people are watching this playthrough. Some people might say, "Hey, see, Cool Blue, that's exactly the atmosphere and that feeling of dread." Okay, this one's for each victim that Hans kills. Oh, kills, he recovers 1 health. Okay, cool. So Hans is gonna attack me twice because he has a darkest, and dark obsession. Dark obsession means that he's going to if he hits me once, he's gonna hit me again. But just going back to what I was saying before, this is kind of one of the things I'm talking about in like my my post game analysis, I like to call them. In those situations, it's like some people say, "Oh, but that's the kind of terror and dread that you want. That feeling of hopelessness." It's like, no, this is not a feeling of hopelessness. This is a feeling of these mechanics don't make it such that the player has a chance. The fact that yes, it's an unfortunate circumstance that Acid Trap showed up when it did. Yes, I could still achieve my goal of getting my power. And yes, I'm in a situation where I'm at max health and things aren't as dire as I might be trying to imply. But what I'm trying to say is that just there's a certain degree of, constantly putting you through the ringer and constantly putting you through the grinder. And this game has all the trappings of just trying to do that. To where it's one of my critiques for this game comes in, it's like, this is very skewed towards evil. Specifically Carnival of Blood, specifically Sacred Groves. That's really skewed towards evil. Carnival of Blood is also skewed towards evil in the event of the traps and the item cards. Thankfully, the one that I got happened to be not bad. It's awful because it ended my turn, but I was at the end of my turn anyway, so I guess not that big of a deal. The other one, which is a Snake Trap, and the other one, which is Bear Trap. I think Bear Trap you have to spend time to get rid of, but it forces you to lose the health. The Snake Bite, I think you lose a health for every round that you don't heal, and when you do heal, you remove the snake instead of healing. So it's one of those like I'm kind of over it as far as the traps are concerned. And that's not a feeling of haha, see, this game made you feel something. It's like, no, haha, this game has balance issues. Like there are mechanics in this game that don't make sense. Specifically Divine Wrath, traps, you can argue. I could be convinced with a compelling enough argument that traps are not that big of a deal. I still think they're awful, especially when they show up like this and they kill everybody in your spot and they make you take damage and then make you lose movement. That's like the worst. But losing one entire turn, inexcusable. Inexcusable for Sacred Groves. Anywho, I'm on the purchasing phase. I'm going to get Retaliate because I need that. That's 4. And then for 2 time, I will purchase... Oh, I get all these back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For 2 time, I will purchase 2 Close Calls because it's basically me versus Hans at this point. One of the things that I'm going to have a problem with, though, is that I cannot take any hits at all from Hans. So it would be beneficial for me to try to find an item that might be able to give me that edge to like survive. So knowing that I spent 4, I think I'm going to take a... I kind of want to take 2 Close Calls. But also want to take a Search. Because worst case scenario, I can search while Hans is in my spot. And then maybe get an item that can give me some defense. Because I cannot survive 2 rounds against Hans. I can also try to make a beeline over towards my girlfriend. Which if I do, then that gives me like 1 piece of cannon fodder, if you will, for Hans. Or I can try to escape her to get an extra time. She gives me 1 extra dice though. So it's kind of risky to try to run all the way over there. Also, if I did go to my girlfriend, I would probably take the shortest path, which would be 1, 2, 3, like so. And just take the hit. Because I can't take a single hit anyway, you know? Or I cannot take a single hit from Hans specifically. So the concept that I'm going over now is like, should I search the deck again? Or should I go for a sprint and try to make it over to my girlfriend? And then wait for Hans to show up. Well, no, that's a bad idea. Because Hans will always try to kill the victims before he tries to kill me. The best I can do is kind of put my girlfriend in a position to where she's going to die first and gives me a whole round to prepare. But even that kind of feels cruel, you know? It's like, she survived this whole time. She survived this whole time. Why would I do that to her? Why would I do that to her? You know what? I would do that to her because movies. That's why. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. I gotta figure out through those last 2 times. I think taking the 2 Close Calls is the better move. Because that gives me a little bit of insurance. And then... Nope, I lied. God, this is difficult. I think taking the sprint is a better move. Because the search is not the greatest thing. Also, if Hans enters my space, does Hans take damage? Let me see. So it says, whenever a terror trap let me put this up here so I can see it. I'm just trying to see if the killer walks into the spot, does the killer take damage from it? Because if he does, then that'll be even more beneficial. I might be able to like kind of finagle it and do some stuff to him. But whenever a terror trap card comes into play, from the terror deck, place the appropriate trap token in your space. The trap immediately takes effect on you and all victims in your space. Anytime a victim enters or is in a space with a trap token, they are killed. Whenever you enter or are in a space with a trap token, suffer the following effects. Oh. Well. Yeah, my interpretation of whenever you enter or are in a space with a trap token, suffer the following effects. I think the or are in is supposed to imply that you continuously apply it every turn that you stay in that spot. I'm going to read that on the friendly side, which is no, I don't. Because otherwise it's like, man, this game really does want to murder you. But I was trying to see if that affects Hans. Nowhere in that reference sheet does it mention the killer. So it's only victims and me, so it doesn't affect Hans, which is unfortunate. So there's no benefit to me, because I have Bullwhip, which means that whenever I do damage to an enemy, I get to push them back. Yeah, I can move them 1 space. So one thing I was thinking of, like, you know, I can like Bullwhip Hans into the acid pit, and I was like, you know, kind of like a movie or something. And then Hans will go after the girlfriend afterwards, and I can run around and do whatever I want. But the fact that Hans is moving for... Well, I thought he was moving for 5. He's moving for 3. Oh, never mind. I don't know why I thought he was moving for 5. Actually, shoot. Did I make a bad move then? No, because all I had was a... I think I only had a focus and a guard, so I couldn't do anything. Yeah. So I could actually outrun Hans. I just thought about that. I thought he was moving at 5. He's moving at 5, or he's hitting for 5. He's moving at 3. So that means that I can actually outrun Hans, which I will take a sprint then. So I need to survive this particular fight, which is a lot to ask for because I need to block all the damage that Hans is doing. I need at least one, or I need a double success on Retaliate so I can block all damage, and I need at least no successes on the guard. So that way I can reduce the damage by 1. Actually, no, I take it back. Yeah, I can reduce the damage by 1, which means that I will be able to survive a hit. You know, I can get the same effect from sprints with walk. Yeah, you know, okay, fine. All right, we'll take 2 close calls instead. So what we bought was we purchased a Retaliate. We purchased a Retaliate and 2 close calls. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in my hand. So that's what we're going to commit to. Let's see if this turns out to be somewhat good. So it's going to be it for my turn. Hans. Oh, I've rolled all these 1s and I have not been keeping track of my counters, have I? All right. Well, I got a star. I don't know about this one. This one's lost to the world. I've been so focused on how awful the dice rolls have been that I haven't been keeping track of my tenacities. All right, so Hans is going to activate Hans's card as we see it over here. So this bottom one is kind of useless, so I'm just going to cover it up. But Hans is going to move. Oh, he's booting twice. That's why. So I cannot run away from him. Did I get sprint? No, I got the close calls instead. Okay. So he's going to, because he's going to move 6. Which I think 6 can go anywhere on the board. So I would need to actually hit him successfully in this turn. So that way he moves only 2. And that means he can be 4 away. And I might be able to outrun him at that point. So I'm just going to go 1, 2. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's going to go for me. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to swing. And I'm going to play my Retaliate first because I need this to be successful. I need 2 successes on this. And I get to roll 2 dice. I think I should flip cards, but I'm going to roll dice instead. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna flip cards because there's a lot of aces down here, and a lot of 1s and 2s. So 2 cards. Success. Success. Huzzah. All right, so I ignore all of the damage from Hans. Oh, I just thought about this. Because of Bullwhip, I can push Hans away, which means his second attack won't happen. Haha. I figured it out, y'all. I figured out the puzzle. I just need to keep hitting Hans when I need to Retaliate. All right, so I hit Hans for 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is equipped in my hand. So Hans goes down to 10, and he loses his unholy speed, and he moves at 2, and I will push him away. Back, you evil fiend. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So if I can get to here, that'd be great. Did I take a sprint? I did not take a sprint. I took 2 walks, right? Because I was really counting on fighting him twice. I forgot about the pushback. All right, so now Hans is done with Hans's turn. I will try my hardest to walk the heck away. If I can move 4, then I can move out of range of Hans. And then Hans will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, he'll go for my girlfriend instead. Is that bad though? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll be 5 away if I go here. And then Hans will go to my girlfriend and kill her. Oh wait, no, Hans will go this way. Sorry, Hans will take the shortest path. Hans doesn't care about the path. I keep thinking that that's no longer a path, but Hans will go 1, 2, 3, 4 instead. Could I do anything to stop that? I mean, I could go to my girlfriend and just do some rolls. I'm not prepared to do anything useful with that. Like, there's nothing useful that I can do in that situation. I mean, the best thing that I can do is I can run there, and then when I run there, Hans is gonna kill her, and then he's gonna stay in my space. So I guess I can set it up. I'm gonna lose a health for that though. I guess I can try to set it up to where that's where I make my last stand. The horror level is gonna increase by 5, which does nothing but heal. Oh, that's gonna heal Hans. That's going to heal Hans to max health. So Hans will be back at 12. So I would need to do enough damage to take out Hans. That might be the 2 rounds that I need though, because if I let it go 2 rounds and I have my retaliate back and I can like gear up. All right, I think that's a better move. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the walk. Okay, the Queens of Horror deck I think is pretty spent because we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 3 queens left in there, and those last 2 queens came in clutch, but I'm not gonna rely on it for right now. We're gonna run through the acid trap. That's the plan. That was the plan. I am going to... I think I need to close call that. I mean, I can afford... Because if I do a short rest... Yeah, I can afford to take a hit. I'll take a hit. Because that gives me 2 tenacity at least. This is the value proposition with tenacity counters, y'all. I'm just saying. So I'll take that. I lose 2 time. I don't know if I want to lose 2 time. Alright, fine. I'll lose... I don't know if I want to lose 2 time. Because... Well, yeah, okay, fine. I'll lose 2 time. Because I can discard cards to get that time back. I move 1 space and I lose a health. So I lose a health, so I go from 5 to 4. Move 1 space. And then I'm going to do a walk. So I need this to be double successful. So I'm saving my close calls for that. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to save that star. Because I want to use my Furious Strike for... Or I'm going to save the star for like a Furious Strike or something. So that's 1 partial, 1 full success. I will get rid of a focus. 2 focuses to make that successful. Well, actually, if I can get it down, because I need to get it down from... I need to get down 5? I can't do that in 2 turns. I mean, I could try. But Lucy will be dead before that happens. Oh, actually, no, I lied, because we're about to increase the horror by 5 anyway. Right, we just talked about this. Alright, so that's 2 successes, so I lose a time, so I'm down to 3. And then I move 2, 1, 2, and then I lose a health because I moved through the acid trap. Okay, and now that I'm here, I do need this short rest to be successful. Actually, I don't know if it matters if I short rest or not, because we're in a situation to where no matter if I take a hit or not... Oh, actually it does. Because the guards can possibly save me still. So I'm going to go ahead and short rest while I can. Which I get to roll 3 dice for this because I'm with my girlfriend. And we get ourselves 3 successes. Of course we do. 2 heals, so I'm at max health now. And now my girlfriend will die. I got to figure out, do I want to purchase anything else? I do want to get as many attacks as I can get. I would rather get Critical Blow. I don't have 6 time. I got 3 cards I can discard. But I'm going to hold on to the guard. I'm going to discard the weak attack because I don't want it. So it's a close call and a weak attack. That feels bad. Okay, it's a guard and a weak attack. I'm going to get rid of. They'll be back in the shuffle at the very least. So I can purchase if I really need to. And I still got my Tenacity Star. I got 2 counters on that one. I could reshuffle the Queens of Horror deck, but I'm not gonna. So we're... Oh, wait, why am I discarding 2? I only need to discard 1. Why was I discarding 2? I don't know why I was discarding 2 cards. I only need to discard 1. Okay, in that case, I'm going to discard the weak attack. That's going to give me 4. And I will buy the Furious Strike. And then these will all be here. Alright, RIP Lucy. Thanks for bringing me to this place. I hope you have a great afterlife. So Hans is going to move twice. He can move 4. Yes, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to kill Lucy. And does he have... No, he doesn't. It says, whenever Hans attacks you at least once. He didn't attack me. He attacked her. So that's going to increase the Bloodlust by 5. So Hans is basically going to go back to max health of 12. And this is our in-game, y'all. This is our in-game. I would say Avengers assemble, but nope, there's no assembling to do. So we're back at our 6th time. My girlfriend's dead. I witnessed her death. She deserved it. And I will Furious Strike. And I will roll 2 dice. 2 successes. So that's going to reduce the horror by 1. So the horror is actually... Oh. No, the horror's not maxed out. The horror is here, right. Well, no. The horror got increased. Ah. I rolled too many dice. Okay. Alright. Do I have a focus? I do not have a focus. I did not plan for that. I don't know why I didn't plan for that. Hold on. That roll was great, but it did not count. Because I only get to roll 1 die. Alright, guess I'm rolling 1 die. So I'm rolling 1 whole dice. Partial success. I got 2 close calls and a guard. I think I'm going to play 1 close call. And if this doesn't work out, then I will discard 2 cards, hopefully. I'm going to play the other close call. Really? That didn't roll. Okay, it rolled. All right. So I have to accept that as a fail, which a fail on that one would be lose a health, increase the horror by 1, and then in my turn... Really? Okay. So lose a health, increase the horror by 1, so Hans heals, doesn't do anything, and then in my turn. Wow, that was a disappointment. So I'm going to take a retaliate. I will take all these zeros back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these 2. And then, man, that was a disappointing series of events there. And then I spent 4 for retaliate. So I will take a guard. I'll just have all the guards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So that's it for that. Some Fury Strike that was. Now, I could have spent this, but I wanted to save this for now. Because now it really matters if I can get the rolls. Because I can only have 1 roll on this situation, Hans is going to swing at me for 5. I'm going to play Retaliate. I'm going to spend this for an auto success. And then I'm going to reduce the damage by 2. So Hans is swinging for 5. He hit me for 2, so he's down to 3 for me, or down to 1 for me. So he's hit me for 3. I hit him for 1, 2, 3 total. So Hans goes from 12 to 9, back to 9. And then I get to push him away, which I will push him away. And that's going to be it. So now at this stage, I need to focus. I got 1 health, so I get +1 die. So that's great. Where did my little thing go? Oh, I'll put it over here. So I get +1 die. Actually, I'll put this here. Because I'm on my last health. I'm going to go ahead and focus. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. And hopefully I get to reduce the horror level so I can get 3 dice back. Alright, game. Tell me much more about how you dislike me. So we've already established that I'm not really going to walk much. Is walking successful? Like, can I be successful and get him far enough away from Hans? I need to get 5 away from him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. So I need to get here. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I think 4 movement for Hans can get him anywhere. There's no place that I can go where Hans will not be able to reach me. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could he reach here? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Alright, so walking is useless is what I'm hearing. So I'm discarding 2 walks. Keeping that 1 for the tenacity, for the star points, or star part. And then that gives me I lose a time, which is unfortunate. And I get to decrease the horror level by 1, so from 7 to 6. And then from there, I could short rest, but I kind of like having an extra die, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the extra die. I'm gonna end my turn there. We're gonna go into the purchasing phase. I'm gonna buy a close call and a Fury Strike. We're gonna try it again. And we're gonna see if this works out the way I want it to. So hopefully I don't die in the process, although I could possibly die. I got a short rest in my hand. I'll probably play a short rest before I do any attacks, but we'll see. Then these clear out, retaliates, focus, walk. Hans will activate. He's gonna run towards me, and I need to guard both of these immaculately. I got 2 dice because of my thing here. Oh, 3 dice. So I need 2 successes. That is not 2 successes. We are spending 2 times, so from 6 to 4. We're spending 2 time because we can't afford any failures. We need 2 successes in a row without any extra rerolls now. Wow, man. Yeah, so that's game. It's not game yet, but it's basically game. So I'm discarding these 4. Actually, should I just take the hit and die and see if I come back? Because if I come back, that's it. All right. We will... no. This is a difficult choice here. My chances of rolling the thing I want to roll are much lower than my chances of coming back alive. My chances of coming back alive are 1 in 3. Because there's 3 health tokens and there's 6 blank tokens, so it's 9 tokens total. So it's a 1 in 3 chance I come back alive, which is a 33% chance. If I do my roll with this guard, so if I discard 4 cards and make this a full success, and then I discard, or then I roll again, there's 11% chance that I get what I want, because I need a double success again. So my chances of coming back alive are better than my chances of guarding twice. So I'm just gonna die. So I'm gonna accept that roll. We're gonna die, because statistically speaking, I'm either gonna come back alive and be able to live to fight another day, which will end the killer's fighting round, or that's gonna be it. So we'll see. It looks like I come back alive. Woo, the odds are in my favor, vaguely. So I come back alive with 2 health. The killer's phase is ended completely. And now we can see if I will actually be able to win, which I have doubts, but here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and play a Furious Strike. And we are going to roll our 2 dice, because I came back alive with more health than 1. And, man, I don't know why I keep rolling the dice, but I'm going to roll the dice again. Alright, partial success in full. Can I afford the partial? I kind of have to, so I'm going to drop the focus and the weak attack. And it's going to give me the 2 successes for the Furious Strike, which means I do 1, 2, 3, 4 to Hans. I do 4 damage, so he goes from 9 to 5. And then, where's 5? There we go. And then I will push him away. So he's been pushed. I wish acid traps would do damage to him, because it would be nice to like push him into the acid pit and do another damage. That'd be great. But I guess it's not theme enough for the game. Actually, let me check the Board Game Geek forums, because if it does affect them, then that'll be great, because that means that my game would check, or would pass out, or go better. Was it acid trap? So we're gonna look up this one now on Board Game Geek, just to see if it goes where it wants. Yeah, so I did confirm on the side. I did confirm that enter is very deliberate on the traps. So if I stay in the space with the trap, I don't get affected by it. But if I enter the space with the trap, then I die. Or sorry, then I take a damage from it. I don't die, but I take a damage from it. So that's not what I want to see. All right, let me go back in the forums here, because I can find this. So the reason why this is important is because it'll affect how much health Hans actually has now. I think Hans would have healed up from killing my girlfriend anyway, but either Hans is going to lose 1 additional health by me pushing to his acid trap, or I'll just push him the way I pushed him. So let's see, acid trap. And acid trap says I don't see an answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trust the reading that I have on the card, which is because because the card does not say enemy, it only says me, it specifies as me and the victims. I'm just gonna assume that it doesn't affect Hans. I'm gonna throw him in the acid trap anyway. Not gonna affect him, but I'll do it. And yeah, cool. So we're done with that. Now we are going to short rest. Actually, no, I can't afford to lose any time, can't I? Or can I? Yeah, no, I cannot afford to lose any time. So I'm going to leave this how it is. I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to discard the short rest, actually, and get a time. So I go from 4 to 5. Then I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to buy Retaliate for 4. I'm going to buy Close Call for 1. I'm going to get these zeros back. And then these are going to clear out. And we'll see if I can make it. I don't like my chances, but they're slowly improving. Not by much, but they are slowly improving. So now Hans is going to activate. I will have to play Retaliate. Now I have to get a double or at least one. No, I need a double success. So I can't afford any failures on this one. So Hans is going to come in. He's going to swing at me. I'm going to Retaliate. I need to block all the damage. And oh, hold on. Before we do that, let me rewind that back a little bit, because I could play the short rest instead of discard. Nope, I need to discard it because I need the time. Yeah, I need the time. All right. So this is all going back down to a dice roll, y'all. We're gonna roll our 2 dice that have been cursing us this whole time. I should have switched dice, but it's too late. So 1 full success, 1 partial. We already discussed I need a success, so I'm gonna discard a 2 walks. I'm just gonna push Hans, or it's gonna be 2 successes, which deals 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to Hans. So Hans is down to 1 health. And I can push him, and I will push him away so he doesn't attack again. And now we're back to where we started. I'm going to end my turn with 6 time. We're going to take all these, and I basically got to survive a whole round. So, because I have no heals or anything, I can only focus, and I don't want to waste time. 1, 2, 3. Because I need the Retaliate to come back. I have no attacks. I can only guard. So I have 6 time to spend. I will buy Critical Blow. Actually, I only need to do 1 damage to him, so I'll buy Furious Strike. Nope. Yeah, I'll buy Guard because I need to guard. That's for 2. Oh, actually, okay, I take it back. I'm going to discard this focus to get 7. There we go. Did math badly. All right, now I'm back in my planning phase. I'm going to buy the Guard. I'm going to buy the Furious Strike. And then I'm going to buy the Close Call. So I'm at 7. So it's 4, 2, 1, 7, and then down to 6. All right, back down to some more dice rolls. We'll see if the luck can be shored up. I don't know. At the Guard, both of these attacks and block all the damage. So that means I need to... Do I have enough cards for this? So let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra cards outside of the Furious Strike and the Guard that I have. So not liking my chances, but we'll see. Hans runs in, he's gonna swing. He only has 1 health, which is unfortunate, but I can't do anything about it. 2 successes. Oh, sorry, I'm guarding, sorry. 2 successes, so I block everything. And then Hans is gonna swing again because of Dark Obsession. So we're going to guard again. I need at least 2 successes. I have re-rolls. Oh, that fell out. That's 1 success and 1 fail. I need 2 successes, we've already established. So I'm gonna discard the Close Call and re-roll this 2. Okay, I can deal with that. Partial success. I'm not going to tempt fate here. I'm just going to discard the weak attack and focus. Yeah, weak attack and focus discarded. So I successfully hold. And this is the time where we determine if I win or lose. I'm going to roll my 2 dice with a Furious Strike. And I'm able to take out Hans. Oof, that was painful. So I got a 4 partial success and a full success, or and a fail. So I guess I get a tenacity. And then I will deal 1 damage to Hans, which is enough to take him out. So he's defeated. And then I reduce the horror by 1. And then my turn ends. That's it. All right, cool. Cool game. Cool system you got there. It'd be a shame if somebody critiqued it. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying before, there is a great amount of questions that I have for the balance of this game. What I mean by that is that we're looking at a situation to where, yes, the roles went successful and things came out with a victory for the final girl. But the circumstance of how I got there is the part that I'm wondering, is it a continuous path? Especially in a game like this one to where it's very modular, you have a lot of pieces and you always want to like mix and match different things. You want to have this cool experience and have this cool world. I really do hardcore question, is it really just balance, or do you just take a bunch of mechanics and throw it on the table and say that would be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if, and then not test it and balance it? I do mean this with as much care as I possibly can place on top of it. As somebody who is a person who has played this game a lot and who's doing a whole like video series about the game and playing the game, I own the game. I backed season 2 already. It's on its way whenever it comes out, and I will probably do a playthrough of that too. And I will forever have a rival with the birds. So I'm saying that to just try to emphasize for everybody, especially critics of me out there, who might say, well, Cool Blue, you're just not a fan of the game. You just hate the game. You just want to blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, this is not like a controversial thing. This is not like a thing to just, you know, stir the pot. This is me legitimately asking questions about, is there ever going to be something to kind of counterbalance things? Because when I look at this game every single time I play it, and like I said, yes, in this situation I won, but let's consider the circumstances of how I won. I won based on the fact that I came back alive. If I did not come back alive, then I would not have won the game. So there's a 33% chance built in that I'm going to lose this game. Or sorry, there's a 67% chance that I'm going to lose if I don't come back alive. I don't know if I said this before, but in some of my older playthroughs, the video series that I'm not going to post unless people really want me to post those failed playthroughs, and they only failed because specifically the statistics chart that I was using was wrong. That's pretty much the only primary reason why. That's not the only. It's the primary reason why I didn't want to post those. I was also extremely more critical, like severely more critical of the game. But that was kind of me just like still theory crafting out how to make mods that might fit better and kind of help me enjoy it more. But in those video series, in the situations to where I did win, outside of the very first one that I won, I think it was Camp Happy Trails, because Camp Happy Trails is pretty skewed towards good anyway, even with the mod, or even with the scenario setup as it is. Outside of that first one, all the other ones that I did win versus the Poltergeist versus Hans, in those two scenarios, I won because I came back alive. Like if I didn't come back alive, I wouldn't have won the game. So basically what I'm hearing is that I have just enough health to die, and then if I come back alive, then I'll probably win. Like my chances of winning go up significantly higher if I come back alive. Because what that allows me to do in this situation is it allows me to ignore the rest of the enemy's attacks. And then it also gives me another chance to like, you know, gives me another purchase phase, gives me more time to like get my cards cycled back out, and it gives me a lot of more time to kind of play with the mechanics of the game. But the reason why I keep saying I question the balance is because you have situations, you have circumstances that exist to where the killer can attack you multiple times. And in a game to where your resources are so valuable, and I'll zoom out so we can see the full picture here. In a game to where your resources are so critical, to where you have exactly this many defense cards, I question the balance of the game of like, okay, why did you only give me 3 defense cards? Like, I understand you're trying to create this environment, this feeling of horror and hopelessness, and like, oh, it looks like you need to cycle your cards better. It's like, well, how can I cycle my cards better if the killer is going to hit me 3 times? I don't know if this is just a specific circumstance with only Hans. I know for a fact with the Ghost, or actually with any killer, honestly, I mean, even Geppetto, like if you want to put Geppetto back into that thing, Geppetto can attack you multiple times between his minions and himself. And you're in a situation where there's not enough guards for you to do anything. So the question becomes like, am I the final girl who's trying to like survive, or am I just like why do I only have 3 guard cards? Like what is this? If the game came with 2 guard cards, 2 retaliates, or some other kind of defense card, then like I can say, okay, yeah. So I see this defense here is kind of crappy, but it's not good. Heck, maybe if one of the 0 cards was a guard, if one of the 0 cards was a guard card instead of, or in addition to everything else, then that could actually help the game a lot better, because then that means I have to manage these 4 guards. That means in a circumstance like this, to where the killer is going to attack me the way the killer's going to attack me. In this case, Hans hit me twice. I need to have some other way to get him off of me. I got lucky, and I was very, very, very lucky that I got the bullwhip. But understand that that's based on a chance. Like, that was a chance of me actually getting it from the House of Mirrors. That was also based on the chance of me actually keeping it because of the trap. And as we already know, we read the rules and we got the confirmation from the rules and also from the sheet itself about the traps that you do get to keep the item even if you get knocked out or if you get hurt by the trap. So that's sure. Okay, so the game thought about that, I can say. But even then, it's like why do I only have 3 ways to defend myself? Like, I got all these attacks. I have a critical blow. Actually, I only have 3 attacks. Oh yeah, I only have 3 attacks. That's even worse. Ugh. Yeah, so I got a weak attack, a furious strike, and a critical blow. So for our attacks, we have 1 built in at a 0. We have 1 that costs 4, 1 that costs 6. Could we have an attack that costs 2? And then for the guards, why can't I start with a guard? You know, yeah, I understand that guards, you need to plan for it, and guards are not always needed. But when you need them, you know? And then in a situation with Hans specifically, like I said, Hans has the ability to attack you 3 times. If he has, I think it's Bloodlust? Which one is it? Let me see. You'll definitely see in one of the future playthroughs, because I think he has this combination for a Bloodbath. Bloodbath allows Hans to attack twice. So he'll target the nearest final girl or victim, and then he'll attack twice, and if he has Bloodbath plus Dark Obsession, he's going to attack you 3 times. So because Hans is attacking you 3 times, then you have to find out other ways, creative ways to stop him from following you. In this case, the Bullwhip was the only way I could have won. Like, if I did not have the Bullwhip, I would have lost because I just didn't have enough guards to cycle. There was not enough time for me to cycle guards. I could not run away far enough from him, and I couldn't do anything because Hans has 4 movement, and as we counted on the board, 4 movement is enough to get you around the entire board. As in, if one person's in the same starting spot as you, and they move 6 or 5, you can always get to them. So that means that this board is significantly smaller than what it might seem. It seems like this huge giant board, this sprawling location, and like I love that for the theme, and it's really cool. And like there's like different pathways and different dilemmas that it gives you. But as we saw, we're in a situation to where, I could run away 5, but Hans could still get to me. I could run away 6, Hans could still get to me. So the question is like, is there any is distance any really relative? Is distance really relevant? Not relative. Another criticism I can throw just for adjacency. If you've ever played the game Tiny Epic, Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. If you ever played the games of Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea by Gamelin Games, which I'm a huge fan of Tiny Epic series. I have all the Tiny Epic games up till Vikings. I think I did not back Tiny Epic Crimes, which is the newest one. At the time of recording this video, mainly because I can buy it at my board game store, and I'll buy it at the board game store. So rather than pay shipping, I'm just gonna go buy it at the board game store because they always have it. They always have the deluxe edition I back anyway. But that goes a long way to say that I do enjoy the games. I do love the games. I adore their games because the Tiny Epic games are great. The best one, if you want a recommendation for those, I know this video is not about them, but I'll say it. The best one to me, I love Tiny Epic Western. I understand that not a lot of people like it because it's a bunch of mechanics duct taped on top of each other. But if you want to have the one that people tend to like the most, Tiny Epic Galaxies and Tiny Epic Quests seem to be the top 2 for a lot of people. I think Tiny Epic Dinosaurs has a lot of potential, especially for people who love games like, was it Dino Island? But I have not played that one enough to kind of get a full feel for it. Anyway, so going back to the Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Gamelin Games makes that game. I like that game. But Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea has a problem because it's like a Risk board, but everything's adjacent. So on Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, you have these giant like locations, and then there's connection points from one to the next. And the board may seem very spaced out, like it's very spacious, and you can be safe, but everybody is within 3 movements of everybody else. Whether you have a flying ship, whether you have a water ship, or whether you can walk over it, you can always walk. Like you can take a minion or a peon and walk over the land bridge to get to them. So that kind of issue has existed in other games to where it seems like you don't really have much space, and that's another thing with this one. It's like there's not enough space. Like everything's connected. You're within 4 movement of everything. Now for me, that's a big deal because I can only move maybe 4 max if I get lucky on walks. But if 2 movement is basically what I get on average. If I get a sprint off at 3, that's great, but it's not always going to happen. So even in that circumstance is not enough. But when it comes to the killer being able to usually move twice during their finale, so they get 2 boosts during their finale and they move fast enough, especially the Poltergeist. The Poltergeist moves at a blazingly fast speed. In those situations, the board is basically like they will always be able to reach you. There's nowhere you can run. There's nowhere you can hide. And from a thematic perspective, that's cool. But from a board game perspective, to where I have to wait an entire turn to get my guards anyway, that's not a functional mechanic. Like that doesn't blend well with the other thing. If I had more guard cards or more retaliates, or maybe if I could buy another one that wasn't here that cost one more because I bought it extra, or maybe if I had a situation, maybe if there's a rule, for instance, to where I can buy a card that's been played already, but I have to pay double the cost. That way, if I'm really desperate and I really want that retaliate again, I'm gonna find a way to get 8 time. So that way you kind of have that balance to where people can actually have enough guards and have enough card economy to do what they want to do. Now, granted, of course, that rule would break when you talk about these zeros because they're 0. So maybe you have to pick up some other flat value, like maybe +3 if you want to buy a card that's in your discard currently. I don't know, maybe that'll work. People can play around with that idea. That's not a way that I'll go with, because like this card mechanic, like I feel it's fun. I just feel like you don't have enough resources when it comes to guarding, and also when it comes to attacking. The fact that my attacks are only fierce strikes, critical blows, and weak attack, that's kind of pitiful. You know, yeah, I understand this game has items, and items are pretty strong, but let's consider that me being this final girl of Lori, who has probably one of the best combat abilities out of all the final girls, probably second to Melanie. Melanie's the birds, terror from above. I have her over here. Melanie's is pretty nice because she gets to do, sorry, once per action phase, you may lose 1 health to deal 2 damage, divided as you choose amongst enemies in your space. So Melanie has probably the second most powerful combat ability, in my opinion. And also, I guess if you want to say to some degree, you can also throw Rico in there. Or, yeah, Rico? Rico in there. Actually, let me zoom in so you can see it's better. Here is Melanie. So Melanie's ability, once per action phase, you may lose 1 health to deal 2 damage. And then Rico, who is probably one of the first final girls that I actually played and really enjoyed. She was the first one I actually played. And then also I enjoyed her as her playstyle, because she can just jump, she can travel for free to the enemy within 2 spaces, which like I said, movement is very small. So if I can move 2 spaces with a walk and then use that ability, I can get to anybody, anywhere. So I can always get to the killer. I can always get to the villain. Whereas Melanie's ability is nice because you can lose a health to deal 2 damage divided as you want. Now granted, it's not as cool as this one, because this one could technically snowball with Lori, especially if you have multiple attacks in hand and you're successful in both of them, or all 3 of them. But what I'm trying to point out is that this particular final girl is specifically tuned and specifically good at killing people. So this situation worked out because I could continuously push Hans back, so Hans can only attack me once and not twice with retaliates. And then when I did attack him, I can attack him for +1. So I essentially, of the 6 attacks that I did to Hans, I essentially got 6 free damage to him, which was enough to help whittle him down to actually take him out. So if I don't have that final girl, if I don't have Lori, then am I just chopped liver? You know, figuratively and literally? Like you know, maybe I hope I have enough health. And also, that's also something to say, goes to say that there's also final girls that have health of 4. So if a final girl has a health of 4, she can survive no damage from Hans. So she absolutely must get at least 1 success on guards, and she can do that once. And if she gets no successes, then, you know, Nancy and Alice are dead. Nancy and Alice are dead in 1 hit when Hans is at max. To which a very valid critique or counterpoint can be made that, hey, Hans has this giant bloodlust track. So because Hans has a giant bloodlust track, why don't you just make it to where he's not going to be able to get to the max? To which I say, yes, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. However, especially in the circumstances that happen in this map, there are so many things that can kill victims, specifically the traps, that it's very likely Hans is going to be maxed out. And Hans has a bloodlust track of 10. So he has 10 different levels on his bloodlust track. If you look over here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different levels on his bloodlust track. It can be increased by a few different things. There's enough enemies, there's enough victims on the board to get him to that level. There's enough effects to get him to that level. If you're talking about the Poltergeist, who's the ghost, her track is only 8. So it's even worse because she gets to her strongest. Granted, her strongest is not as strong as Hans. She just moves a lot faster and she hits a little bit harder. I think she hits at max of 3. And she moves at a speed of 4, which is wild because she can always get to you. But anyway, but my primary criticism for all this, and my primary point for bringing this up is because like there's a really cool thing that the game is doing, but I don't know if that's actually balanced in a way that players can have a consistent experience. And once again, I understand the criticism, and I keep mentioning this because I'm kind of speaking as if I'm talking to the forums specifically, and I've seen this argument brought up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again by people who are very adamant, pro this game. Like, this game is the best. This game can do no wrong. They're very huge fans of this game, and I understand the fandom, but I really need for people to understand that there is a balance issue with this game. Two things can be true at once. This game can be fun and enjoyable to play, but also have a lot of balance issues. Those both things can be true. And then for the designers, especially the designers that ever watch these videos and listen to the entirety of this, usually 25-minute discussion or rant, if you will, analysis is what I'm calling it. But if they ever listen to this, hopefully they can actually kind of take some stuff from the game and think about the experiences and then maybe tailor it to where the players can have a more consistent experience. It's not about the player winning all the time. Like, a player losing a game is fine. Like, I played Pandemic. I don't like Pandemic, but I played on PAX Emancipation, which is basically Pandemic with a lot more steps. I played PAX Emancipation with one of my good friends like 7 or 8 times, and me and them, when we play that game, we were trying to be as efficient as possible. We're trying to figure it out, but the dice are sometimes just dice. The cards just sometimes don't work out, and then disaster strikes, and then things fall apart so fast. And we've won exactly 0 games. We've played 8. And for those who don't know, PAX Emancipation is a very long game. It lasts about maybe 2.5 hours. Very long in the sense of longer than this game because it has more steps and more complexity, more things going on. Also very complex and kind of brain burnery. But that game is fun for us to go to because there's so many different ways you can approach it. There's so many mechanics you can do. There's so many levers you can pull, so to speak. There's so many different ways you can try to approach a thing. You can try to focus on doing this. You can try to focus on doing that. You can sometimes do this, and sometimes you need to do this before you do this, and then you have to work together. There's a compelling reason to keep digging into that system, even though that system keeps destroying you every single time. And like I said, I would definitely call PAX Emancipation, as a board game, Pandemic with significantly more steps. When I play this, I see this game as a Pandemic light with more steps, and I'm trying to figure out why to some degree, because for the experience that it's trying to bring you into, it's trying to sell you on the idea that this is you have 6 actions and you can do these things, and for every card you have an action, when in reality, no, you don't. Just say that you're a game that has 2 action points and then move on. It's like so many different pieces of pieces to critique, and so much so that I kind of cross lines on that one. But the main point I was trying to get out on this one was that there's a balance issue with some of these combinations, and also just with the levels. Like, the traps, like I said, sounds cool on paper, but when we actually play against it as a player of the game, it's like, why are these traps here? Like I understand you're trying to give me a challenge and a crisis, but what kind of challenge or crisis is it? What kind of challenge or crisis is it that I'm in this spot and I'm about to rescue 3 people on turn 1? I'm about to rescue 3 people, or at least I'm trying to prepare for that, and then all of a sudden an acid trap shows up and kills all 3. And then not only that, when people die in this game, the bloodlust track on the killer goes up, even though the killer didn't kill them. So now all of a sudden, not only did 3 people die, but the bloodlust track goes from 0 to this, which increases the horror level by 1, which puts me into a bad state. And then we flip on the next card, which the very first card that came out in this one was, oh yeah, it burns when it first came out. It increased the horror level by 2. And then because 3 people died, Hans over here got to here on the track, which increased the horror level by 1. So from turn 1, which the horror level starts at 4, turn 1 we're already in the red. Because from turn 1, just bring this over. From turn 1 we start at 4, and then we're going to increase it by 2 because of the card, so 1, 2, and then by 1 additional because of Hans' track, so we're in the red. So I'm now rolling 1 die. My question is why? Some people might say, well, it just happens. That's just a circumstance. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it pops up, and I keep trying to push back, and I will always try to push back as hard as I can by saying that happens so often that it becomes less of a question of that's a random occurrence and that's unfortunate, or oh, I'm so sad for you, or oh, I feel so bad for you, and more of a no, these mechanics are actually not good together. Like something about these mechanics is not blending well. Like, this doesn't bring a compelling thing. Like it doesn't. It's a blender, but it's a blender because it's a blender. It's not a blender with a chance for you to win. it's not like a not it's not like it's trying to be like a roguelike game or roguelite game, if you will. So you can actually run through the game and it's very difficult, and if you die, you die, you start over from the beginning. No, no, no. This game wants you to sit down. It builds up this really beautiful atmosphere. It builds up this really beautiful tension that can come up, which I would argue is kind of bad tension because it's coming from bad dice rolls. But it builds up this tension, and it's successful and kind of make you feel like, oh, it's hopeless, or I'm not gonna make it, or oh man, oh no, that happened again. Oh man, that bad thing happened. And then it just throws it all away by saying, by the way, there's a 33% chance that you'll make it, that you'll actually win this game, because you need to die and come back alive before you can actually have a chance to win. Because there's no way in heck that I actually win this game without getting the bullwhip, which is a 1 in 12 chance that I get that. 1 in 12 because there's 12 items. Let me zoom out. There's 12 item cards, and this particular item card is in one of the decks. And speaking of which, if we look at the item deck, just to go back into those and critique those more, this item is useless. This item is utterly useless. This item is Disguise Kit. Disguise Kit is a pretty cute item on the surface, but when you actually play with it, it's like, why is this in the game? This is a waste of an item spot. It says when an enemy specifically targets the final girl, you may use the Disguise and Makeup Kit to treat yourself as a victim. The enemy will then target the nearest victim instead. Like, I mean, in some circumstances that might be nice, but if you get that item not in the first turn, it's useless. Super Lucky Dice is pretty cool because it allows you to roll dice and do the following. So, sorry. It allows you to re-roll and then possibly keep the dice specifically. Sorry, I said a weird thing on that one. So you can possibly use that to continuously get some extra dice rolls without having to spend a close call. And then if you roll 5s and 6s, which are successes, then you get to keep them. So yeah, I guess it's kind of harkening back to some of the Hostage Negotiator days. But that's kind of the entire rant, or the entire discussion. I like to call it a discussion, but I guess people can rightfully call it a rant in a nutshell. So I'll go ahead and end it there. At the end of the day, did I enjoy my experience? Yes. But the only reason why I enjoyed it is because I like to theory craft about the whole idea about this and try to compare this to this and think about this and is this balanced and is this system actually workable? So I pull joy in this game from theory crafting. Others who might play this game going into it and saying, "Oh, this is a cool horror game. I might play it. I'm gonna spend the $120 on all of it, and I want to get the miniatures. I want to get the books. I want to get the lore books and everything." And they sit down and play it, and it's like, oh, I don't like this at all. This feels too swingy. This feels like a game that's super random. There's no chance of me winning this game. To which, once again, very valid criticism that people will bring up is that, well, you're just not playing it correctly. And then that's where we get into the thing of like, is the game doing the right things to help train the player or get the player in the right direction to know how they should play this game? And to that, I'd say no. Like, if the game includes stat sheets, like percentage sheets like this, maybe, you can make the argument that, yeah, you should see this chart with your chances of getting certain dice rolls and understand that you need to play around this. But this does not come with the game. This is an add-on. This is a fan-made thing that people, or me, that people made to help the experience be better for themselves. And then I decided to share with the community. Tenacity counters, a way to make 1s and 2s not as brutal. Like that seems like a no-brainer to me. Like in a game like this, to where you're so reliant on dice, to where your only thing that you can do is roll dice. You can either roll more dice, or you can re-roll those dice that you rolled. But you have a game that's based on dice that doesn't have a mechanic to mitigate dice outside of this mechanic, which is a very scarce resource for the close calls. So you have 2 close calls that you can use. And you end up in a situation where it's like, okay, how can I mitigate the loss? How can I make it? Oh, just manage your horrors track. It's like, how? In this deck alone, we have how many? We have potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 horror increases from the deck alone. And then from the killer, we have 4 additional, so that's 4. So there's 12 horror increases potential. I say potential because this card relies on, oh, there's more there. Potentially 2 more there. So it's potentially, was that 14? Potentially 14 horror increase, with 4 of them being not guaranteed. But 10 of them being guaranteed that you have in the game. So that means that you have to cycle your distractions and hopefully that you get a double success. And then you have to play your focuses and hope you get at least 1 success on those. Oh, that's not a focus. Your focuses and hope you get at least 2 successes on those. And you're in a situation where you're spending, some people might say, hey, this Queens of Horror deck is a waste of money. It's like, you can argue that, but I would argue that this is a waste of money too. Like, why bother decreasing the horror track when I know there's going to go up again? And the only way for me to get to the dice is to actually get the horror track down to 1 or 0, which is difficult to keep it there. If you can keep it there, do it. But if you can't, then yeah, you can't. So yeah, so that's kind of, like I said, the end of the rant on that one. So I will continue to play the game. I will continue to kind of theorycraft things for myself that makes the game more enjoyable for me specifically. Hopefully it makes it more enjoyable for you all. But the motivation behind a lot of the mods that I've made have come from the source of these critiques that I'm making right now. So hopefully this is useful. Hopefully this is valuable. Maybe you just like hearing me talk. Maybe you hate hearing me talk and you skip over this part of the video. I don't know. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video there. And we will reconvene on the next playthrough. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all whenever.